Well, I want to thank all of you for tuning into this video. I'm Mr. McKinney, and a little bit later I'm going to introduce Mr. Wagner, and Jessica will be introduced, our counselor. I think you've already met her. But this is taking place of our parent night we usually have in May. So I'm excited to see all you guys. Hopefully, we don't know what it's going to look like next year, neither do you, but we're getting excited for you guys to be here next year. So listen closely. This is what we usually cover during our evening, and we have our parent night. Well, that said, I'm going to answer some of the questions that come up every year since we've had the 6th graders here. The 6th grade kids are going to be separate than the 7th and 8th graders. They're on their own kind of little wing. There are a total of 7 teachers and a SPED teacher that there's going to be here to teach them every day. They kind of keep separated from the 7th and 8th graders. They do go down to the 7th, 8th grade area for PE, and they go over to an elective class, depends on their elective class. But for the remainder of the day, they're pretty much self-contained in their own little areas. I need to cover a couple other things. Is when they come for lunches, they have a separate lunch. 6th grade is only at one time. 7th and 8th graders are split. So we try to keep them separated for that. I need to have you guys know that if you have any medications that need to come for your kids, we do not have a full-time nurse on staff here at the middle school. Please leave your medications in a labeled bottle, the original bottle, and whether prescription or non, you can bring them to the office. We will keep them under lock and key with the directions of how you anticipate or the student needs them, have them delivered to them. So we'll have that for you. How we do PE here. Every kid in 6th grade is going to have PE class. It's every other day. So they, in 1 week, they have it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The next week, they have it Tuesdays and Thursday. We call those A days and B days.
Hi, all you incoming 6th graders. My name's Mrs. Becker-Basinius. I'm one of your PE teachers, and I'm super excited and looking forward to getting to know all of you next year in PE. We're going to have a lot of fun. Mr. Scow wasn't able to join us on video, but he is our other PE teacher, and we're both really excited about getting to meet you guys next year. Look forward to talking to you all. Have a great day.
In between those PE days, they're going to have their elective class, which could be band, could be choir, could be real life.
Hi, my name is Mr. Justice, and I am the band director at LeGrand Middle School and LeGrand High School.
Hi, I'm Mr. Durfee, the choir teacher at LeGrand Middle School. I'm looking forward to meeting you this fall.
Hi, incoming 6th graders. My name is Miss Boja, and I teach electives at the middle school, one of which is Real Life for 6th graders. I look forward to seeing you this fall.
The 6th grade teachers, will have them introduce themselves to you, but they are Mr. Fiorito, and we have a new 6th grade teacher, Mrs. Rainsbury, Miss Kosnick, Mr. McKinley, Miss Dowell, Miss Johannan, Miss Oliver, Miss Irvin, and I think I got them all, didn't I?
Hey, future 6th graders. I'm Mr. Fiorito, and I'm super excited to meet you in person.
Hello, soon-to-be 6th graders. My name is Mrs. Rainsbury, and I am so excited for you to be at the middle school with us next year.
Hi, future LMS Wildcats. My name is Mrs. Kosnick Simone. I'm a 6th grade teacher. I'm really looking forward to next year, and I'm so excited to meet you.
Hi there, I'm Mr. McKinley. We're excited to have all you 5th graders come into the middle school next year. Don't be too nervous. It's a good place. We have a lot of fun in 6th grade. We'll see you next fall.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Dowell, and I'm a member of the 6th grade team at LeGrand Middle School. And we are so excited to see you next year. Can't wait. Have a great summer. Bye.
Hi 5th graders, my name is Miss Johannan. I teach 6th grade at LeGrand Middle School, and I'm super excited to see you guys in the fall. Bye!
Hi folks, this is Ms. Oliver here, and I'm so excited that you're going to be coming up to the middle school next year. We're going to have loads of fun.
Can't believe farm animals. I'm the real Mrs. Oliver, and I'm so excited to see you next year.
Hello, soon-to-be 6th graders. I'm Miss Irvin, 6th grade teacher at LMS. This is my quarantine sidekick, Jack. And we are both very excited that you will be coming to LMS in the fall, and we will see you there.
So I'm going to leave a little bit here now for Mr. Wagner to talk to you about some more things. So Mr. Wagner, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney, and I just want to introduce myself. I'm Mr. Wagner. I'm the Vice Principal and Athletic Director here at LeGrand Middle School, and am really looking forward to seeing all of you this year. A couple things I'm going to cover. I'm going to go over some of our athletic policies and practices, what we do for lunches, and our TAG and 504 programs. So as far as athletics are concerned, we offer athletics for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. 6th grade athletics is going to look a little bit different than 7th and 8th grade athletics in some respects. Our volleyball and basketball programs for 6th grade is an intramural program. So for those two things, you don't actually need your physicals for those two things. But for wrestling, cross country, and track, those we run more just aligned with our 7th and 8th grade program. And you will need physicals turned in to participate in those. The cost per sport for 6th grade is $15, and that covers all of the different components, including travel and the different resources we need for each of the athletic events. As far as football is concerned, the Optimus program is who offers 6th grade football. You will need a physical for them, and for further details, you'll want to contact the Optimus Club for 6th grade football. We have 7th and 8th grade football here, so after 6th grade, you'll be playing here for the school. But as for 6th grade, that's going to be Optimus. Lunch here at the school. So sometimes we get concerns from parents that our 6th graders are intermingled with our 7th and 8th graders all the time, but we kind of try to keep them separated as much as possible, and we do this in lunch as well. 6th grade has their own lunch period, and so they only have lunch with their 6th grade counterparts. Lunches here at the middle school are closed campus, so we have lunches in the commons only, and then after they've eaten lunches, they're welcome to go outside, and they have some free activity time. Lunches last 30 minutes, so usually kids are done within the first 15 eating lunch, and then they get some time. A lot of them refer to it as their recess time, but it's just the extended part of their lunch. We have some activities available outside for them to run off some of their energy during lunchtime, including basketball courts and foursquare, and recently added, Mr. McKinney got us a gaga ball pit, and that's been very popular. Our TAG and 504 programs, if you have a child that has been predetermined to be TAG or predetermined to have a 504 plan, I will be, or our TAG 504 coordinator will be contacting you with a letter next fall, and you'll get a letter in the mail, and that will ask you to set up a meeting with us so that we can get those plans updated and make sure that we have all the different components that you need to be successful here at the middle school, whether it be for your TAG program, your student's TAG program, or your student's 504. Sometimes some of those plans need to be updated to align with some of the things that we do here at the middle school that may be a little different than what's going on there at the elementaries. So look forward to that in the mail, and as soon as you get that, if you can give us a call here at the school, contact us at the school, and get a meeting set up. Expectations as far as behavior here at the middle school. We're aligned with PBIS, and as are the elementary schools, so you're going to hear a lot of the same vocabulary: being safe, being respectful, being responsible, and being kind. All of those things we follow closely here, and just in each one of those things, we teach to those things specifically in our advisory classes and our classrooms as well. And I think Ms. Frazier is going to hit on our character education lessons that the advisory teachers go on. But we'll teach the kids when they get here what does safe, what does respectful, what does responsible look like in the middle school setting, in the middle school building, and make sure everybody has a pretty good understanding of that. One of the first things we do with kids in advisory classes is we go through our planners, so we go through the expectations, we go through maybe some of the unique idiosyncrasies we have here at the middle school level, and go through that with them so nobody's left in the dark and guessing what to do in what situation. But again, really look forward to seeing you all this next year and getting to know all of you. We have a 3-year journey ahead with you, and can't wait to get that started. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to Mrs. Frazier.
Hi everyone, my name's Jessica Frazier and I'm the school counselor at the middle school. I am so excited that I still have the opportunity to talk to you about things that I would normally tell you at our parent night, but here in a virtual setting. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking today about registration for next year, kind of what your kiddos have already been asked to do. I'm going to talk about counseling services that the school provides. Spend some time talking about our attendance policies, also our cell phone policies. There's always lots of questions from parents about that, and other things coming up, information that you'll get in the summer before school starts. So those are some things I hope to cover. So I'm going to jump right into it and say I've had a great time meeting virtually with your students. I've gotten to pop on to a lot of virtual class meetings. Your kiddos are excited, they're nervous, even more so because they haven't had the opportunity to tour our building and see the faces of their 6th grade teachers and things like that. So I talked to them a lot about how we're going to help with that come the fall time. So just so you know, we're going to spend some time making sure that your kids know where they're going with their schedule. Also spend some extra time on the combination for the lockers. A lot of them are worried about that, and we're going to spend some good time teaching them how to do that. And then if they're still struggling, they can sign up to spend some one-on-one time with us to practice that and make sure they know it so they're not feeling anxious or worried about that. So plenty of time to learn their locker and to know where they're going in the fall. I talked to them about electives. So your kiddos get an elective class next year that alternates with PE every other day. Their choices are band, choir, and real life. I've asked your students to communicate their preferences to their homeroom teacher right now. So if they had Mr. Brooks, for example, that's who they're talking to. So their current 5th grade teacher. And if they haven't done that already, please encourage them to do so. The other question that I am getting from kids and parents is about the registration fee. There is a registration fee. It's $35, but you can pay that online. It's already posted in their student account to their fees. So you can go ahead and do that online. And if you'd rather do that in person, you can pay that in the fall. Or you can, mail a check or something like that to the middle school as well, so we can get that fee squared away. And if you're struggling to pay that, that's something that we can talk about. You can make a payment plan. You don't have to pay all of it at one time. You can chisel away at it. It's only $35, so even $5 a week, that would be totally fine too. So. All right, counseling services. So parents and school staff and kids actually too, they can make a request to come see the school counselor. So I get referrals in those different ways. I help students with a variety of different things. So from resolving peer conflicts, a lot of, we call it drama, I guess, but a lot of that, it can be a tough time to navigate those social situations. So I help kids practice, what to say or what to do in certain different things that maybe they're struggling with. Also, if they're having trouble with academics or organization or something like that, I can talk to them about how to prioritize and organize to be a successful student. We talk about friendship trouble a lot. Bullying, too, if somebody's experiencing bullying, they can come and tell us, they can tell any adult about that. We have a zero tolerance policy for that. However, we often find that it's rare that there's truly a bullying situation going on. It's usually not one-sided. So we talk about ways to make sure that we're all being respectful and safe and doing the right thing, not to become a bully ourselves as well, and how we might be able to help the situation instead of making it not be something that's resolved or whatnot. So, again, that's kind of back to, peer conflicts and friendship. And then also things centered around like loss and grief. So sometimes at this age, a lot of kids end up losing a pet or maybe a grandparent or something like that. And you can call and let us know about that if you want us to meet with your student. We do a lot of referring out as well. So in the school setting, we don't do ongoing therapeutic work. So if your student is somebody that needs to see a counselor on a regular basis, we can help make that referral out. We'll be helpful, of course, be that support system during school, but it can also be really helpful to have that community mental health worker too working with them. So we can help with that as well. If your family or your kiddo is struggling to have a basic need met, that is something else that we often help make referrals for to either our care program or other community resources. For example, so if you need more food or a winter coat or anything that might center around, like I said, a basic need, we can be a good place to start too to help you know what those resources are and make sure that you get the things that you need. So so that's kind of that in a nutshell. Another big thing that our office focuses on is attendance. So I think, if you're a student that's struggling in school, we're going to look at your attendance first, okay? You've got to be here to learn. I'll talk first about just, if your student has to be gone. In elementary school, maybe you called the homeroom teacher. In middle school, you have to call our attendance secretary, who is Marilyn Knight, and she will excuse your child. The teacher can't excuse your child. She's going to be asking your students to fill out something called a pre-arranged absence form if you know in advance that your student's going to be gone. If they're sick or something, of course, that wouldn't be the case, but maybe you're taking a family trip or you have to go out of town for something. Your students will be asked to do that ahead of time, so it's something that they'll take home and you'll fill out and they'll have to fill out and go around to their teachers for. So that'll be something to just keep in the back of your mind too. Marilyn is not being nosy if she's asking you why your student is absent. It is part of Oregon law and district policy to code why kids are gone a certain way. So I just want to reiterate that too, that we're not trying to be nosy, but that is something that we are required to ask. So sixth grade is a critical year with attendance too. So just like kind of third grade was with reading, sixth grade for attendance is a major tracker for graduation rate. So if your kid is not regularly attending, they are statistically more likely not to graduate high school. So a great way to ensure that they're going to graduate high school is to make sure they're attending in sixth grade. We work to have 95% or better attendance. If your student's missing 10% or more of the school year, we call that chronically absent. And 10% might not seem like a lot, but that's 17 days of school. That's like 4 weeks of school. And over time, that can really add up. So my motto is 9 or less is best. So making sure, there are going to be days where your student's too sick to come to school. And we talk to kids about big sick and little sick. If you just have maybe a headache or your tummy kind of hurts, trying to go to school and powering through, kind of toughing it out. But then if you're, big sick, so if you've got a fever or you're physically getting ill, so throwing up or needing to use the bathroom, we want you to stay home. And especially, now in this time with everything we've just experienced or are experiencing with COVID, that might look a little differently in the fall too. Of course, with the having a cough or any type of symptom for COVID, we want to be take extra caution in staying home and only going to school, if we feel 100% good. But typically, trying to, we're going to have to work to find that balance this year, but really making sure that if it's, if they're saying they're sick, that they're really sick and it's not maybe something else keeping them from school. Because sometimes just anxiety in itself can show up as a a tummy ache or a headache or something like that, if they have a big test or there's a friendship issue going on. So truly, we want you out of school only if it's because you're ill and there's not something else going on that we can help you problem solve through. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about the cell phone policy. Students, this is a big time where a lot of them get their first cell phone. And sometimes even their first social media accounts, and it can be a big responsibility, right? We've got to teach them, just like with everything else, the etiquette around using these devices. They're not allowed upstairs in the classrooms unless teachers, there's like a particular thing that they're doing that they can use it for, which is, I would say, more rare than it happening or than it being allowed. So typically they stay in their lockers. They can use them at lunchtime. Or like before and after school. If your student doesn't have a cell phone, which totally fine if they don't, and they need to contact you, we have an office phone. So students just ask to use that and they can use that and give you a call. So, and if you needed to contact them, you can call the main office and we can get a hold of them and have you be able to communicate with them. So no worries there. It's not like they don't mandatory need a cell phone as a 6th grader, okay? And kudos to those of you that maybe hold off on that. I'd say wait as long as possible. So we would just ask your help on that too, with the cell phones and especially the technology use with cell phones. Working with even your cell phone carriers. They have like parental controls and things like that help your students and families to be safe on the internet and use the internet responsibly. You can set especially if your kid has a smartphone, there are settings to turn on the internet during certain times. So like they can't use the internet during class time at all or something like that on their cell phone. Every kid is going to be given a classroom Chromebook. So they are going to be able to use and do everything they need online through their Chromebook that's in class. So I think it's really helpful when they do set those time restrictions on it. You can do that around bedtime too. We find that a lot of times kids end up losing a lot of sleep because they're on their cell phones, either playing games, texting, on social media, calling, FaceTiming, something like that, into the wee hours of the night. So I just encourage you to, research those things that help make settings possibly or create some boundaries that help your kid use that technology responsibly and helps them to be a more successful person and student. So, and if you have questions or need help doing that, we've got lots of resources and tools too that we can send you. So that is what I'll say on our cell phone policy. This summer, you will be emailed a list for supplies that kiddos need in 6th grade. My best advice is do what you can, get as much on that list as you're able to. If there's some things that you're not able to find or you're not able to get due to maybe a monetary issue, we'll help you out with that. We'll make do. So just do what you can and that'll be enough. So you'll also get a newsletter with more information about the start of the school year, what the first day looks like, and a welcome letter from our principal. So the first day is August 31st this year, and hopefully, if all goes as planned, we'll have an assembly. Your kiddos will learn who their teacher is when they get there at school that day, and then they'll find their name on a list, and then we have this assembly, and then the teacher holds up the sign, and then they follow their teacher to their classroom. So hopefully that all goes like it should, and we'll see you on that very first day. Parents are welcome to stay for that assembly, or they can leave, up to them. And we look forward to getting to know you over the next 3 years. So have a great day.
Hi, my name is Chris Levitt. I'm a counselor at LeGrand Middle School. I'm married to Mrs. Levitt, who's a 7th and 8th grade English teacher. Together we have 2 daughters, a dog, honeybees, lots of chickens, and we enjoy gardening and bike riding and doing lots of things. We're excited to have you at LeGrand Middle School. Welcome.
Well, here's Mr. Wagner and I. We're outside of the front of the school. We're going to walk into the building and just kind of show you around where you're going to be and where the things are. But before we head in, The 7th and 8th grade and the 6th grade start times are all the same. We start the bell on a normal day, except for it's an hour later on Mondays. But on Tuesday through Friday, the bell opens up the doors at 8 o'clock. Of course, if we're outside and it's inclement weather, we'll let you guys into the commons area. If it's decent weather, the buses show up about 10 till 8 to about 5 after 8. Then we'll be able to go inside and have breakfast. They'll be waiting for you. And other than that, we wait outside till the doors open up. If you have been gone for a day and you need to get caught up on some work, we have called what is teacher access on Tuesday through Thursday. So you're going to be able to come in, show a planner, or talk to the person there at the door and say, hey, I need to go see Mr. Fiorito. And they will let you in and you can go up there and get caught up on your work or whatever teacher you need to see. So we're not going to prevent you from doing that, but we're going to give you kind of a
Take advantage of that.
Yes, plan on it, especially when you're sick or been gone for some other reason. As we enter the school, right over here behind me on these double doors here, you're going to see right there is in those windows is where we're going to have posted the first part of August. We're going to have posted your 6th grade teachers. So you will receive a letter in August, early August, probably first, second week, and it will list, have some expectations. It'll list what their upcoming things are, what kind of this COVID thing is going to do for us. It'll have all that information in there. It'll also have your school supplies list, but it'll also have a day and time when those lists for your classroom teachers are going to be posted. And that's where we're going to have them. So you can come up here and look on that time, and they'll be right on these windows. So come with Mr. Wagner and I, and we're going inside. This is the front office. This is where our secretaries are. Mr. Wagner's office is right over in that corner. Mine is over in this corner. You'll be able to see us here. Behind us is where you guys will all eat. Down here in this lower commons, in the mornings, is where our 6th graders will be. Up there in the top part is where the 7th and 8th graders are in the morning. So in the mornings, you guys come in, you'll be able to go to your lockers. We'll show you where those are, and your area is going to be right here on the main floor. And Mr. Wagner and I and the pairs that are out here, the assistants, they're making sure the 6th graders stay in their 6th grade area, and we're making sure the 7th and 8th graders don't come over and interfere with them and bother them. So then when the bell rings at 8:20, 8:15 is when the first bell rings, 8:20 is a tardy bell, then the kids will be able to go this way. So they go to their first period class, 7th and 8th grade, and 6th grade go to their homeroom class. So follow Mr. Wagner and I, and we're going to go up there. Right over here to my right, this bank of lockers, and it's going to look a lot different than this when you guys get here because we're in the middle of shutdown. We got a lot of bags and stuff that's been picked up. But this is 6th grade wall of lockers are in the commons. And then if you look up here in the hallway, all those doors, the lockers, those are all 6th grade lockers. So these 6th grade lockers are all separated away from the 7th and 8th grade lockers. So my 6th graders will be up in their locker areas, and this is where they're going to be. So we continue going up this way when that bell rings, and we're going to go into the 6th grade wing upstairs. Alrighty. So now we are in the 6th grade wing. Here's the 6th grade restrooms. These are theirs only. We have a drinking fountain that is taken care of and was purchased by the PTO, so we thank them for that. We have Mrs. Dow's class right here. Mrs. Dow's our special education teacher, so if you as a parent have not heard from her, I know she's in the process right now of doing some transition meetings from the special education teacher from the elementaries. So if you haven't heard from her, please call the building and we will patch you into her phone number, and then she can meet with you and get a transition with your existing special education teacher and her to get the transition here to come to the middle school. So we continue down this hallway just a little bit. We have a couple more classes down here of 6th graders. Right here is where my 6th graders go. They stay in this area. My 7th and 8th graders stay that way. However, there's another room right here, just right here behind me, we're going to take you into. It's not going to look like this in the fall, but it looks kind of messy right now because we're putting in a couple of classrooms here into the library. This library looks huge right now, but over in this area is going to be 2 classrooms for 7th and 8th graders, and that's why the walls are gone and it kind of looks like a kind of a mess right now. But we're working on that, and we're going to get that up ready by, been told, by the first day of school in August. So we'll be ready. All right, here we are. We're getting ready to head into the gym. This is my favorite part of the whole day when I'm up here with Mr. Wagner or I, and we get kind of depressed about how life is treating us. We walk into the gym when it's dark like this, and you're going to see the lights go on by magic. It's pretty awesome. Come on, Mr. Wagner. If you've never felt important, this is the time you're going to feel it. Anyway, so this is our gym. We have an awesome gym, really, for middle school. But right behind Mr. Wagner, if we look down here, exactly like this is the stairwell that will go down. That will be the 6th grade boys' locker room is right here. And exactly like that, on the other side of the gym is the girls' locker room. The students will have lockers and little baskets that they are going to store their stuff in. They're going to be given combination locks to be able to lock their personal items up. There's also a lock. That lock can be taken off their basket when they get out their PE clothes. When they take off their street clothes and they put them into a locker, then please, parents, make sure your kids lock those up. This isn't the only gym that you'll be in. You'll be using the annex gym also, but the PE teachers will take you over there as a group, because when you come out of the locker rooms and you have to do warm-ups, you're going to be in this gym, all of you. You'll do your warm-ups, and then the teachers will break you up, and some will go to the annex, some will go out in the field, some will go up on the deck. You'll be at different places with your PE teacher, and you'll be grouped up that way, but this is where you're going to go. A couple other things I want to introduce. I would like to introduce to you, but they're not here right now, is Deanna Wildman. She is our PTO president, and if you want to do some volunteering, you want to be on the list for involvement with the PTO, her email address is going to be ddwildman, WILDMAN, @gmail.com. Again, ddwildman @gmail.com. And she'd be really excited to hear from you, get your email and number so she can text you and keep you informed of what's going on in the school.
Well, kids, I hope you liked the tour of the middle school. I can't tell you how much we're looking forward to having you guys here. We always look forward to having a new group come in. This year, you're going to get some extra special treatment because we're not going to have seen kids for about 5 months. So we're really looking forward to seeing you this year, getting to know you. It's kind of fun with the idea that, hey, we've got 3 years ahead of us with you and get started on that relationship. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your summer. And again, look forward to seeing you guys this next fall.
One thing I'd like to chime in on here, I agree with everything Mr. Wagner said. One added caveat though. You parents, some of you have added students. So tell them the truth, tell your kids the truth about me. I'm fair and I'm looking forward to being here. Many of you, I've already had your kids here. I'm excited about having them again, some more of them. That is good news. For you that have never had a student here, rest assured that Mr. Wagner and I really take this job to heart. We want every student to have a good relationship with their teachers, a great experience at the middle school, and learn what they need to do so they can have those doors open to them when they graduate from high school. That's our ultimate goal. So thanks for your time and trusting your students with Mr. Wagner and I and all of our staff here at the middle school. Thank you.